so much the public face of council. When you're not there, like, how do you feel about how you're leading the city when you're not there? Like, in one sense, it goes on. I mean, in one sense, people absolutely missed you. I heard it all the time at things. On the other hand, life goes on.
I was very pleased, you know, with like a lot of the work, obviously, for things like the key to the city and the budget and the LRT. You know, I'd been working on with colleagues for the last couple of weeks, so it was, you know, it was unfortunate from my perspective. I couldn't be there for, you know, LRT and the agreement. So, you know, I was glad that, you know, a lot of those things that we'd planted the seeds, we were able to harvest and get done, because it was, you know, I was thinking to myself, like, the first couple of days, this is the worst time to have an accident because you've got the budget, the Auditor General's report, you know, the Alfredson thing I thought was a big deal for the city and for him, you know, to honor him, the Western LRT. But, you know, as I said, I watched the council meetings. I think, you know, Mark and Bob did a very good job, and I think, you know, life proceeded. And I was, you know, to the chagrin of my staff, on, you know, my BlackBerry sort of every, you know, day, you know, several times a day, trying to sort of just make sure that, you know, if something was coming up or they needed direction on something, I could give it to them. You worry as a politician if you don't get invited to things, you know, that people don't want you there. So, but I have to, you know, I have to have that life-work balance a lot better than I've done in the past, that's for sure. And I think, you know, the fact that I have all of this time just to sort of think, you know, just, you know, think about...
what have you been thinking about?
Well, you know, mostly about work, but, you know, things that, you know, I've been reading an awful lot. Like, you know, people have been sending me books on, you know, urban planning and cities and, you know, U.S. politics and, you know, like Sarah Jennings sent me like 3 books, nothing to do with government or politics or anything. So, you know, I never have a chance to sort of read anything except mostly city reports. So this was nice. And even like, you know, I rarely watch television because I'm never at home. And so just to watch, you know, you hear people talk about series like Homeland or, you know, The Good Wife or whatever, and I'm actually able to watch these, you know, just because you have to pass the hours. It's like it's a fairly, you know, I get up early, can't get back to sleep, and you know, it's like it's pretty quiet around the retirement home after 7 o'clock at night. So there's not, you know, a whole lot for me to do but to read and think. And most of the time I've been eating in my room because it's a lot easier for them to bring, especially the first couple of weeks. It's really hard. So I went down one day. I didn't want to sort of be a bit of a hermit, just always living in my room. So I went down to the dining room, and they said, would you like to sit with someone or sit by yourself? And I said, well, of course I'll sit with someone. So they sat me beside this wonderful woman, and she's talking about, you know, how she likes the food here and how she's moving to be closer to her daughter in Mississauga. And then she said, and what do you do? And I said, well, I work for the city. And she said, wasn't that terrible what happened to the mayor in the accident? And then I said, well, I'm actually the mayor. She said, oh, you are? Well, I never see your picture in the paper.